Good day, ma'am. So our topic is essential processes in ecosystem. So according to Schumacher, even with renewable primary products, man is not wholly in control of the productive process, as he is in a factory but first must fit his actions into life rhythm of the seasons and the often mysterious requirements of organic life. So the process of photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants take in carbon dioxide and water from the air and soil. Within the plant cell, the water is oxidized, meaning it gains electrons. This transforms the water into oxygen and the carbon dioxide into glucose. So this is how plants eat, through the sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. And then it transforms into oxygen and sugar. Photosynthesis, the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize foods from carbon dioxide and water. Photosynthesis in plants generally involves the green pigment chlorophyll and generates oxygen as a byproduct. So this is the formula process of photosynthesis. So the process of photosynthesis is commonly written as this. This means that the reactants, 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules, are converted by light energy captured by chlorophyll into a sugar molecule and 6 water molecules and 6 oxygen molecules, the products. Photosynthesis is carried out primarily by the chlorophyll-bearing vascular plants and algae, both aquatic and terrestrial. So aquatic means in the water, and terrestrial means in the land. Other minor contributions are made by the photosynthetic bacteria that instead of water, use hydrogen sulfide, and various organic compounds as electron donors. Photosynthesis is a complicated process, the essential features of which can be outlined briefly. So photosynthesis occurs in two distinct but integrated steps. First, it involves the absorption of light energy and the production of an energy-rich compound and a hydrogen carrier. The second step is it involves the incorporation of the carbon dioxide into the final product. In the first step, the primary excitation of a chlorophyll molecule by the action of photon of light is one of the major secrets of photosynthesis, and probably one of the few significant ones remaining unexplained. The excited chlorophyll transfers an energetic electron to some electron carrier, which in turn passes the electron on still another acceptor. So the process achieves a very important result, the product of an energy-rich molecule, adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. The outer product of this event in the photosynthesis is the reduction of the hydrogen-carrying nicotine adenine dinucleotide phosphate, or NADP, to NADPH. In the second step, like any other reactions, generally the reduction of carbon dioxide and the production of carbohydrate is a continuing process as long as the following conditions are met. There are three conditions. First, there must be a source of energy. Second, raw materials for the process must be available in the site of reaction and the final products removed. And third, lastly, the reaction must be catalyzed by one or more enzymes. In the reduction of carbon dioxide in a chloroplast, carbon is brought into the system via a series of reactions called the Calvin cycle. The first compound to incorporate new carbon dioxide when photosynthesis starts is a 3-carbon phosphorylated molecule, phosphoglyceric acid, or PGA. The C3H5O4. This compound is then reduced to phosphoglyceraldehyde, or PGAL, by the action of NADPH and ATP. Further reaction will facilitate the conditions of PGL to fructose, a 6-carbon sugar, and then to glucose. However, not all the PGAL is converted to glucose. Some of it may react with the 6-carbon fructose to yield not the expected 9-carbon result, but one 5-carbon sugar, ribulose, and one 4-carbon sugar, erythrose. The 5-carbon ribulose, still carrying a phosphate group, can be further phosphorylated by ATP. Phosphorylation yields ribulose diphosphate and is very important because it is the only compound which can pick up a new incoming molecule of carbon dioxide. Thus, a sort of cycle is completed. So, we are here in limits and rates of photosynthesis. So, the amount of carbohydrate produced by a given leaf area in a definite time does not only vary in several plants but also under diverse conditions. In a well-defined area of plant, the rate of photosynthesis is influenced by the following factors. So there are 4 factors. First is amount of carbon dioxide. So the amount of carbon dioxide normally present in the atmosphere is 0.33% of the total volume of the atmospheric gases. This given percentage of carbon dioxide is very much below the most favorable quantity for photosynthesis. Hence, by artificially increasing the supply of carbon dioxide to a certain extent, the rate of photosynthesis will also be increased. On the contrary, if the supply is decreased, the rate is rimmed in the same way. Second is intensity of illumination. So under low intensity of illumination, such as during rainy days or very cloudy days, the rate of photosynthesis goes on very slow. This is due to the fact that sunlight is normally the energy utilized by green plants for this process. So, when the intensity increases to a certain point, the rate of photosynthesis gradually becomes faster until the maximum is reached and cannot increase anymore under the same conditions of the other factors. Thus, more carbohydrate is produced under ordinary intensity of sunlight than either low or full intensity. Third is the temperature. The minimum temperature at which photosynthetic process is made possible is several degrees below zero. At very low temperatures, the rate goes on very slow, but as the temperature rises up, the process becomes faster and faster. The optimum temperature for photosynthesis is about 30 degrees Celsius. The rate of photosynthesis at this temperature is the fastest. And lastly, the fourth factor, amount of water. The rate of photosynthesis is also affected by the amount of water in the plant. If the available water for the process is too little, the rate is greatly affected. This is because water is one of the essential raw of materials for photosynthesis. So, beneath our feet are billions of organisms performing an unbelievable activity of reducing the debris to chemical elements and mix the organic matter with the soil. And in fact, what the organisms of decay accomplish is the reverse of the photosynthetic process. That is the reduction of organic matter to the inorganic compounds, which is the carbon dioxide, water, and oxygen, from which it was synthesized and the utilization energy this matter contains. So decomposition is a very complex process which includes fragmentation, mixing, change in physical structure, ingestion, concentration, and action of enzymes. All of these are accomplished by a wide diversity of organisms such as the fungi, bacteria, and some protists. Actually, the world of the decomposers is one of the complex food webs which includes herbivory, carnivory, parasitism, and to a limited extent producers. So in layman's term, decomposition is associated with the death of an organism, the withered vegetation lying on the ground, or an animal carcass lying in a field. However, the process begins long before the detritus falls to the ground or to the bottom of the pant. Decomposition occurs whenever a herbivore consumes vegetation. This process doesn't only allow the animal to extract minerals and nutrients from the plant for nutrition. So, microbial decompositions. The bacteria and fungi are the microorganisms most commonly associated with decompositions. However, since bacteria may be autotrophic or heterotrophic, the autotrophic forms are commonly considered as the producers. This group of bacteria can oxidize compounds such as ammonia, nitrates, and sulfides, a source of energy for the conversion of carbon dioxide into living sulfides as a source of energy for the conversion of a carbon dioxide into living matters. The heterotrophic bacteria on the other hand, are the true decay organisms. They are classified as aerobic, requiring oxygen as the electron acceptor, or they may be anaerobic, able to carry on their metabolic functions without oxygen. So, the bacteria and fungi produces enzymes essential to carry out specific chemical reactions. So they are classified as aerobe. So the bacteria and fungi produce enzymes essential to carry out a specific chemical reactions. But the book of decomposition does not take place until the dead vegetation or animal comes in contact with the soil and is dependent upon the moisture and temperature. As bacteria and fungi work on the debris, they assimilate the nutrients and incorporate them into their tissues. So, thank you, ma'am. This is the end of my report, and this topic will be continued by Monte Alto Regi. Thank you, ma'am. God bless.